What if I told you that the secret to making women admire you, even chase you, isn't about what you say or do, it's about who you become? Imagine this. You walk into a room and the energy shifts. People notice you. They're drawn to you, not because you're trying to impress them, but because there's something about you that commands attention. You don't need to say much. You don't need to seek approval. You are simply present, and that presence is magnetic. This isn't about pickup lines or shallow tricks. Those things might work temporarily, but they crumble under scrutiny. What I'm going to share with you today is timeless. It's rooted in ancient Stoic philosophy, a discipline that has stood the test of thousands of years, and it's supercharged with the unapologetic techniques of dark psychology. When you master these principles, you won't just attract attention, you'll command admiration. Let me ask you something. Why do so many men struggle? Why do they chase and plead for validation, only to be left feeling frustrated and empty? It's because they've been lied to. They've been told to chase, to give their power away in pursuit of someone else's approval. But here's the truth. When you chase, you lose. Every single time. Because the act of chasing signals one thing: lack. And what do Stoics teach us? That a man who is ruled by his desires is a slave, not a king. Women, and people in general, are naturally drawn to power. Not brute force, but the quiet, understated power of a man who knows who he is. A man who is in control of himself, who is grounded, calm, and unshaken by the chaos of the world. That's the kind of power that creates admiration. That's the kind of power that makes people chase you. You might be wondering, how do you cultivate that power? How do you build this magnetic presence that pulls others toward you without effort? That's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're going to explore the principles that Stoics have used for centuries to master their emotions and command respect, and we'll blend that with the precision of dark psychology to give you a winning edge. But let me be clear, this isn't about manipulation. This is about mastery. Mastery over yourself, your emotions, and your energy. When you master yourself, you stop chasing. And when you stop chasing, that's when the world starts to notice you. Before we dive into these life-changing principles, let's take a moment to claim this power together. I want you to type these words in the comments below. I am the master of my energy. This is your first step, owning the fact that you are in control. Say it, mean it, and watch how your mindset begins to shift. And while you're doing that, hit the like button. Not for me, but as a signal to yourself that you're serious about leveling up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Stoic Blessing and turn on notifications, because here we're building a movement of mastery, purpose, and power. Now let's get into it. Principle 1 will change the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you. Let's begin. Number 1. The power of detachment. Let's start with a principle that has the power to shift your entire mindset: detachment. The Stoics believed that freedom comes when you stop attaching yourself to things outside your control, when you stop obsessing over outcomes and start focusing on what you can truly command: yourself. This idea isn't just a nice philosophy, it's a game changer when it comes to attraction. Here's the truth: people can sense desperation. When you're overly invested in gaining someone's approval or attention, it shows. It's in your energy, your words, your actions, and that energy repels, not attracts. But when you master detachment, something remarkable happens. You exude calm, control, and confidence, qualities that draw people in without you even trying. Think about it. When was the last time you admired someone who seemed desperate or clingy? Exactly. Admiration flows toward those who are secure in themselves, those who don't need anything from others. And this is where the Stoic principle of detachment comes into play. Detachment isn't about indifference, it's about power. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to whether someone likes you, admires you, or chases you. Your worth comes from within. So how do you cultivate this detachment? Start by shifting your focus. Instead of worrying about how others perceive you, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Build your mind, your body, and your purpose. When you pour your energy into self-mastery, something incredible happens. You become magnetic. You stop chasing, and people start noticing. Now, let's tie this to dark psychology. Detachment creates an aura of mystery and challenge. People want what they can't easily have, and when you're detached, you signal that you're not easily won over. This triggers a psychological response: curiosity and pursuit. Suddenly, they're thinking about you, wondering why you're so different, so calm, so in control. Remember this: detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about the right things: yourself, your purpose, and your growth. When you operate from this place of strength, admiration and attraction naturally follow. Take a moment to internalize this idea. Type in the comments, "I am in control of my focus." Let's commit to this together. This is your power. Your focus is yours to command. And if this is hitting home for you, make sure to like this video right now. Not for me, but for yourself, as a reminder that you're stepping into your power. If you're ready to learn how to take this to the next level, keep watching, because the next principle is all about building that aura of mystery and depth that captivates everyone around you. Let's keep going. Number 2, embodying mystery and depth. Now that you understand the power of detachment, let's talk about the next critical principle: embodying mystery and depth. Here's a truth that most people never realize. What is easily understood is easily dismissed. Humans are naturally curious. We're drawn to what we can't fully figure out. When you embody mystery, you become irresistible because you invite people to explore the unknown. Think about the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest emperors in history, wasn't just admired for his power. He was revered for his depth. His wisdom, his restraint, and his ability to see the bigger picture made him unforgettable. He wasn't loud or flashy. He carried himself with a quiet, enigmatic confidence. That's the energy you need to cultivate. So, how do you create this sense of mystery? First, talk less and listen more. Most people are so desperate to prove themselves that they give away too much too quickly. Don't be that person. Instead, keep your words intentional and your presence deliberate. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Second, avoid oversharing. Social media has made it too easy to lay all your cards on the table, but restraint is power. Share enough to spark interest, but not so much that people feel like they already know everything about you. Think of yourself as a book. Each interaction should feel like they've only read the first chapter. Make them want to know more. Third, develop intellectual and emotional depth. Read, learn. Cultivate skills that make you stand out. When you invest in your mind and your experiences, you naturally become someone who intrigues others. People admire those who have layers, who can surprise them, who challenge them to think differently. This is where dark psychology comes in. Mystery works because it plays on the human need for closure. When you're not entirely transparent, people will invest time and energy trying to figure you out. They'll become more engaged, more curious, and more drawn to you. But remember, this isn't about playing games. It's about creating a genuine aura of depth and intrigue. When you cultivate mystery authentically, you're not just admired, you're unforgettable. Let's lock this principle in. Type in the comments, "I am the author of my story." This is your reminder that you control what others know about you and what they don't. And if you're finding value here, take a moment to like this video. It's a simple act, but it's a way to show that you're committed to becoming a man of depth and presence. Make sure to stick around, because the next principle is the foundation of true confidence, and it's one most people completely misunderstand. Let's dive into it next. Number 3, the confidence of non-neediness. Now that you've started cultivating mystery and depth, It's time to lay the foundation for something truly transformative: non-neediness. Let me say this loud and clear: neediness kills attraction. Whether it's in relationships, friendships, or even professional dynamics, nothing repels faster than the sense that someone needs something from you. Stoicism teaches us a profound truth: happiness and fulfillment must come from within. When you rely on external validation to feel whole, you give your power away. The more you chase, the more you signal to the world that you're incomplete. But when you become non-needy, when you learn to be content and confident in yourself, you create a gravitational pull. You don't chase, you attract. Here's how this works. Non-neediness isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about truly not needing anyone else to complete you. It's about building your life so full of purpose, joy, and self-respect that anyone who steps into it is a bonus, not the foundation. Imagine someone walking into your world and realizing you're already thriving, already fulfilled. That energy is magnetic. Let's tie this to dark psychology. When you're non-needy, you create a subtle dynamic of value. People are drawn to those who don't seek approval because it's rare. In a world where most people are desperate to be liked, your non-neediness sets you apart. It signals confidence, independence, and strength. It says, "I don't need you, but I value you." That balance is irresistible. But how do you cultivate this? Start by focusing on your purpose. What drives you? What makes you wake up every morning? When you live with purpose, you naturally become less concerned with external validation because you're too focused on your mission. Next, practice gratitude. Remind yourself daily of what you already have: your health, your skills, your journey. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to neediness because it shifts your mindset from lack to abundance. Finally, embrace the mindset of abundance in relationships. There isn't just one person who can bring you happiness. When you believe in abundance, you stop clinging to the wrong people, and ironically, the right ones become drawn to you. Let's claim this power right now. Type in the comments, "I am whole, with or without anyone else." Let that sink in, because when you internalize this truth, you become unstoppable. The next principle takes this even further. It's about mastering your emotions and controlling how you show up in every interaction. Let's keep going. Number 4, mastering emotional control. Now we're stepping into the territory that separates average men from extraordinary ones: emotional control. Let's face it, in a world that thrives on drama and overreaction, the man who can remain calm and composed is a rare and powerful force. And here's the kicker: emotional control isn't just about keeping your cool, it's about dominating your inner world so no one else can. The Stoics believed that the man who masters his emotions masters his life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What does this mean in practical terms? It means you don't allow other people's actions, words, or opinions to control your state of mind. You respond, you don't react. And when you master this, you become untouchable. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're in a situation where someone tries to provoke you. Maybe it's a subtle insult, or they're testing your boundaries. The average person reacts emotionally, defending themselves, or worse, escalating the situation. But you pause, you breathe, you respond with calm strength. That kind of composure doesn't just diffuse the situation, it commands respect. People admire those who can stay steady when the world around them is chaotic. Now, let's connect this to dark psychology. Emotional control creates a psychological advantage because it keeps people guessing. When you don't react the way they expect, it throws them off balance. They begin to respect your steadiness, and more importantly, they start to seek your approval because they can't predict your emotional responses. This is power. So how do you cultivate emotional control? Start with awareness. Pay attention to your triggers, the things that usually make you react impulsively. Next, practice the Stoic principle of negative visualization. Imagine worst-case scenarios ahead of time, not to dwell on them, but to prepare yourself. When you've mentally rehearsed challenges, they lose their ability to shake you. Finally, prioritize physical and mental discipline. Regular exercise, meditation, and journaling help you stay grounded and less reactive. Emotional control isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about mastering them. When you own your emotions, you own your interactions. And when you own your interactions, people can't help but admire you. Let's lock this in together. Type in the comments, "I am in control of my emotions." Say it, mean it, and let it guide you as you step into situations with unshakable composure. Stick with me, because the next principle takes things up a notch. It's all about creating scarcity and projecting value in a way that draws people to you like never before. Let's continue. Number 5, scarcity and value projection. Now that you've started mastering your emotions, it's time to dive into a principle that works both in life and relationships: scarcity and value projection. Let me ask you this. Why are diamonds so valuable? It's not just because they're shiny or beautiful, it's because they're rare. Humans are wired to value what feels scarce, and when you apply this principle to yourself, you become someone people admire, respect, and chase. Here's the mistake most men make. They make themselves too available. They're always responding immediately, always eager to please, always there. But here's the thing. What is always available is rarely appreciated. If you want to be admired, you need to project value by creating a sense of scarcity. This doesn't mean playing games or ghosting people. It means valuing your time and energy enough to protect it. The Stoics teach us to prioritize what truly matters and let go of distractions. When you apply this to your interactions, you signal that your time is precious, that you don't waste it on anything or anyone that doesn't align with your purpose. And when you do choose to give someone your time or attention, it becomes meaningful, it feels special. Let's tie this to dark psychology. Scarcity triggers a psychological response called perceived value. When people feel they can't have you whenever they want, they start to desire you more. They start to work for your attention, your presence, your energy. This isn't manipulation, it's basic human psychology. And when you combine this with true self-respect, you naturally project value. So how do you create this dynamic? Start by setting boundaries. Be intentional with your time. Don't answer every call or text the moment you receive it. Focus on your priorities, your goals, your growth, your mission. And when you do give your time to someone, be fully present. The combination of being selectively available and deeply present when you are creates a powerful contrast that people are drawn to. Secondly, invest in yourself. People value what is valuable, so make yourself valuable. Build your skills, pursue your passions, and cultivate qualities that make you stand out. When you invest in your growth, your value naturally increases and people will notice. Remember, scarcity isn't about withholding, it's about making your time and energy something worth earning. And when you do this authentically, people will begin to admire and chase you, not because you're playing games, but because you're living with purpose and self-respect. Let's claim this together. Type in the comments, "I am the creator of my value." Own it, because when you do, you start to project the energy of someone who is truly worth chasing. Stick around, because the next principle is all about the art of giving attention strategically, something that will elevate your presence even further. Let's keep going. Number 6, active listening and strategic validation. Now that you understand the power of scarcity and value, let's shift to something that might seem simple, but is often misunderstood: the art of giving attention. Here's the truth. Attention is one of the most powerful currencies in human interaction. But here's the catch. Not all attention is created equal. When you learn to listen actively and validate strategically, you become unforgettable. Think about this. Most people are so caught up in their own world that they barely hear what others are saying. They listen to respond, not to understand. But when you give someone your full, undivided attention, something magical happens. They feel seen. They feel important. And in a world where so many people feel invisible, that feeling is priceless. The Stoics taught us to be present, to focus completely on the moment we're in. When you bring that level of presence into your interactions, you stand out. You're not distracted by your phone, your thoughts, or your ego. You're fully there, and people feel it. That presence alone sets you apart. Now, let's add the layer of dark psychology. Giving attention strategically doesn't mean showering someone with compliments or constant validation. It means being intentional. Here's how it works. Instead of generic praise, pay attention to the things that really matter to them. Validate their unique qualities, their values, or their strengths. When you do this, you're not just boosting their ego, you're connecting on a deeper level. And that connection makes you memorable. But here's the key. Balance is everything. If you overvalidate, it loses its impact. If you undervalidate, it feels insincere. The sweet spot is to give attention and validation that feels earned and rare. This ties back to the principle of scarcity. When your approval is selective, it becomes valuable. So how do you practice this? First, cultivate the habit of listening more than you speak. Ask thoughtful questions and genuinely care about the answers. Second, look for moments to validate authentically. Compliment their effort, not just their results. Acknowledge the things they're proud of, but don't always make it obvious. Subtle validation is often the most powerful. Remember, the goal isn't to manipulate, it's to create meaningful interactions. When you give attention strategically, people don't just notice you, they remember you. Let's seal this principle right now. Type in the comments, "I give meaningful attention." This is your reminder to be intentional in your interactions and to elevate the way you connect with others. Stick around, because the next principle is about cultivating charisma through living with purpose, a trait that naturally draws people to you. Let's continue. Number 7. Cultivating charisma through purpose. Now that you've learned how to give meaningful attention, let's talk about a quality that will set you apart on an entirely different level: charisma. But here's the twist. True charisma doesn't come from charm or good looks. It comes from something much deeper: purpose. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people light up a room without even trying? They seem magnetic, not because they're loud or flashy, but because they carry a sense of direction, of clarity. That's the power of purpose. When you know what you're about, when you're focused on your mission, people can feel it. It's an energy that can't be faked. The Stoics believed that living in alignment with your values and your greater purpose was the highest form of existence. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." What does this mean for you? It means stop hesitating, stop seeking external validation, and start committing to the path you were meant to walk. Here's how this ties into charisma. When you live with purpose, you naturally embody confidence and clarity. You stop worrying about what others think because you're focused on something bigger, and that focus creates an unshakable presence. You're no longer swayed by trivial things because your energy is directed towards something meaningful. Now let's add the element of dark psychology. Purpose creates attraction because it makes people want to be part of your world. When someone sees you moving toward your goals with passion and determination, it triggers a psychological response. They admire your drive, and they want to be associated with your success. This isn't manipulation, it's inspiration. People are naturally drawn to leaders, and purpose makes you one. So how do you cultivate this? Start by asking yourself the hard questions. What drives you? What do you want your life to stand for? It doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to be yours. Once you have clarity, commit to it. Wake up every day with the intention to move closer to your goals, no matter how small the step. Next, share your purpose through your actions, not your words. Let your energy speak for itself. People are more inspired by what they see you doing than by what they hear you saying. Show them that you're walking your path, and they'll naturally want to follow. Let's claim this right now. Type in the comments, "I live with purpose." This is your commitment to becoming someone who doesn't just exist, but someone who leads. The next principle is where we take things to the next level. It's about mastering subtle dominance and how it amplifies every other trait we've discussed. Let's continue. Number 8. Power moves in subtle dominance. Now we've arrived at one of the most misunderstood yet powerful principles: subtle dominance. Let me make something clear. Dominance isn't about aggression, intimidation, or being loud. True dominance is subtle, effortless, and grounded in self-mastery. It's about leading by example, commanding respect without demanding it, and creating a presence that others naturally defer to. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't advocate for controlling others, they advocated for controlling yourself. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Subtle dominance is rooted in this mastery. When you're in control of your emotions, your actions, and your energy, you naturally project strength. And here's the beauty of it. This kind of strength speaks for itself. You don't have to force it. So, how do you embody subtle dominance? First, cultivate a calm, confident demeanor. People are drawn to those who can stay composed in the face of pressure. Think about it. When everyone else is panicking, the person who stays calm becomes the leader by default. This ties back to emotional control, which you've already begun to master. Second, take control of your body language. Stand tall, make intentional eye contact, and speak clearly and deliberately. Subtle dominance isn't about being overbearing. It's about owning your space with quiet confidence. Even small adjustments, like slowing down your movements and pausing before you speak, can have a massive impact on how others perceive you. Now let's tie in the psychology. Subtle dominance works because it creates an unspoken hierarchy. When you carry yourself with strength and calm, people subconsciously place you at a higher level of influence. They start seeking your approval, deferring to your opinion, and looking to you for guidance, all without you ever needing to assert it directly. But here's the key. Subtle dominance is never about diminishing others. It's about elevating yourself in a way that inspires respect, not fear. This balance is crucial. When people feel respected by you, they'll admire your strength even more. Finally, lead with your actions. Whether it's in relationships, work, or social settings, be the person who acts decisively and takes responsibility. This doesn't mean doing everything for everyone. It means being the steady hand that guides the ship. When people see that you're capable and reliable, they'll naturally follow your lead. Let's claim this power together. Type in the comments, "I lead with quiet strength." This is your reminder that true dominance is grounded in confidence and respect. Stay with me, because the final principle ties everything together and will leave you with a lasting mindset that transforms how you show up in the world. Let's dive into it. Number 9, the ultimate mindset, owning your energy. We've reached the final principle, and this one ties everything together, owning your energy. If there's one thing you take away from everything we've discussed, let it be this: your energy is your power. It's the foundation of how you show up in the world, the impression you leave, and the respect you command. When you fully own your energy, you become unstoppable. Let's break this down. Your energy is more than just your mood or attitude. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you respond to challenges, and the way you make others feel when they're around you. When your energy is calm, confident, and purposeful, people are drawn to you. But when it's chaotic, needy, or reactive, it repels. The Stoics were masters of energy control. They understood that no external event can dictate your internal state unless you allow it to. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Owning your energy means taking full responsibility for how you think, feel, and act, regardless of what's happening around you. Here's where dark psychology comes in. When you own your energy, you create a dynamic where others subconsciously align themselves with you. Think of it as emotional gravity. You become the steady center that others orbit around. This happens because people crave stability and strength, and when you project those qualities, they instinctively trust and admire you. So how do you own your energy? First, practice self-awareness. Pay attention to your triggers, your reactions, and the patterns that disrupt your flow. The more aware you are of these things, the easier it becomes to control them. Second, cultivate a daily practice that grounds you, whether it's meditation, journaling, or physical exercise. These habits build resilience and help you stay centered. Finally, protect your energy. Be selective about the people, situations, and activities you allow into your life. If something consistently drains you or pulls you out of alignment, it's time to set boundaries. Owning your energy means valuing it enough to guard it fiercely. Remember, when you control your energy, you control your interactions. You become someone who others admire, respect, and chase. Not because you're trying to impress them, but because you've mastered yourself. Let's lock this in together. Type in the comments, "I own my energy." This is your final commitment to stepping into your power and becoming the person you were meant to be. And before you go, take one last step. Hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Blessing, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to level up. Together, we're building a community of strength, purpose, and mastery. Now go out there and own your energy. You've got this.